Good day, everyone. I'm Kristine Guinsisana, and on behalf of my co-authors, Mr. Clark Arthur Robles and Ms. Kiana Isturis, I'm going to present this paper entitled #Marketing Trend, a genre analysis of selected promotional Facebook posts of an international school. The COVID-19 pandemic affected all sectors in society when it hit the world back in 2020. It disrupted the educational systems globally, forcing the schools to adapt to a new mode of learning in a limited amount of time. According to Alam and Tiwari 2015, only 2 million out of a former 4.3 million students in private schools had re-enrolled at the beginning of the academic year 2020 to 2021 in the Philippines. The Department of Education, or DepEd, announced that at least 440 private schools nationwide faced issues that might have led to closure, 54 of which came from 2,391 schools in Metro Manila. For one case in point, an international school in Metro Manila reported that its enrollment declined by 42% from academic year 2019 to 2020 to 2020 to 2021. And that compelled the school to think of ways on how to cope with the crisis. The upheaval demanded schools to devise a strategy that would increase or maintain their number of enrollees. With this, the need to promote and market were prioritized. Today's world offers social media as a convenient digital marketing tool that can be used by almost everyone. As of the third quarter of 2021, the data reportal website revealed Facebook as the most used social media platform in the Philippines, with 96.2% of internet users, making it an ideal platform to reach the public. However, promoting in an established social media platform such as Facebook has developed crowded and overwhelming contents available to users. This resulted in competitive marketing in order to attract the attention of users and persuade them to acknowledge a product or service. So this highlights the importance of content creation in describing the journey of a user as he or she purchases or subscribes to a specific product. This journey that a user goes through in choosing products and services is described by the sales or marketing funnel as shown on your screen. So the content strategy of an effective promotion goes through 3 levels as described by the funnel. The first one is TOFU, which means top of the funnel, which focuses on the awareness or attraction of the public. The second one, which is MOFU, middle of the funnel, focuses on giving reasons to compare several brands and choose the best option. As for the third one, or the last one, bottom of the funnel, or BOFU, focuses on leading users to make a decision or take action by giving extra reassurance. Carnavale, Luna, and Lerman 2015 emphasized the use of language in social media as agents to communicate the meaning of a brand and influence perception, memory, attitudes, and behavior. While there are numerous studies that seek to evaluate the effectiveness of social media promotion, such as those coming from Constantinides and Stagnot 2012, and Degani and Tumor 2015, and language use in social media from Deng, Hineji, and Wang 2020, limited studies have focused on describing the language used by the school for social media marketing. In light of all of these, this research aims to answer the following question. Number 1, how many Facebook posts correspond to each of the 3 stages of the marketing funnel? The second research question is, what are the common linguistic features on the promotional Facebook post produced by the ISS marketing department? Let us now proceed to our methodology. We researchers used a qualitative design to shed light on the objectives of the present study. Grounded on the genre analysis approach, the scrutiny focused on the 3 levels of linguistic analysis as posited by Bhatia 2008 and Singh, Shamsuddin, and Zaid 2012. So what are these 3 linguistic levels? So first linguistic level is the analysis of the lexical grammatical features of the corpora. So it corroborates with the first two grammar dimensions of Salce Murcia and Larson Freeman, 1999, which are form and meaning. While the former answers the question, how is it formed, the latter stresses the question, what does it mean? In other words, these two questions are hinged upon the narrow linguistic levels of morphology, which is word structure, syntax or sentence structure, and semantics or meaning in language. The second linguistic level of examining the corpora is called textualization. So it demonstrates the third dimension of grammar, which is use. It addresses the question, when and why is it used? Hence, it is pivoted on pragmatics or language use in context. So in the parlance of GA, it explains why members of the speech community write the way they do. In this study, the speech community refers to digital marketing professionals in the fields of business and education. The third and last linguistic level is termed structural interpretation. Specifically, it revolves around the distinctive linguistic styles of members of the speech community to achieve their intention or purpose in writing a text. So the researchers investigated lines or purpose in writing a text. The researchers also investigated lines or captions which deviated from the conventional structure of the English language. As such, the study revealed how the marketers constructed unique structures of language to persuade the readers or target netizens to choose their educational institution. And a total number of 122 promotional Facebook posts from the school year 2020 to 2021 were selected to be part of the corpora. And convenience sampling technique was applied in collecting corpora since such posts were intended for public viewing and consumption. Guided by the first research question, the following phases were followed. So for phase number 1, we consulted a digital data analyst who also specializes in digital marketing. So this analyst advised us to use the digital marketing funnel model as the framework in classifying the FB post according to their communicative strategy. Phase number 2, we reviewed the features of each stage of the marketing funnel. Phase number 3, the researchers tallied the number of posts categorized for each stage of the marketing funnel. The number of posts for each stage was divided by the total number of posts across the marketing funnel. So the formula below represents the computation. The number of posts in one stage over total number of posts across the 3 stages times 100. To answer the second research question, we underpinned their analysis by Batia's 3 levels of linguistic analysis. To be specific, the following steps were undertaken. So for the first level of linguistic analysis, it is called lexico-grammatical features. Such features included the type of sentence according to structure, type of sentence according to function, pronouns, verb tense, voice of the sentence, modal verbs, and the adjective used. For the second level of linguistic analysis, it is called textualization. So we analyzed and classified the common linguistic patterns on level 1 within the parameters of persuasive techniques, logos, ethos, and pathos. And for the third level of linguistic analysis, which is structural interpretation, we noted the less common and unique patterns, as well as the literary items from the corpora. These patterns were considered outliers as they did not conform to the common linguistic patterns. Finally, the digital data analyst and an English teacher who holds a master's degree of arts in teaching English language reviewed the results, and they validated our analysis for the first and second research questions, respectively. Now, for the results and discussion, answering this research question, how many Facebook posts correspond to each of the 3 stages of the digital marketing funnel? This table shows the number of posts in each stage of the digital marketing funnel. So most of the posts constituted tofu, followed by bofu, and then mofu. Items included under tofu, which is 39.34%, were related to both local and national events, as well as admission or enrollment announcements. Meanwhile, posts categorized under bofu, this is 34.43%, were webinars and events exclusive for the school community members who are mostly basic education students, and also testimonials coming from stakeholders. Okay. As for the posts regarding professional development training for teachers and staff, open house meetings, and even enrollment discounts and gifts were what comprised MOFU, and that is 26.23%. Now let's proceed to this research question. What are the common linguistic features on the promotional Facebook post produced by the IS's marketing department? So there are a total number of 8 common linguistic patterns that were discovered, and first among these is the use of complex and simple sentences. Along with the type of sentence based on structure, it was also found out that the recurrent functions of sentences were declarative and imperative related to the school's identity boosters, such as events, achievements, and others, as well as admission and enrollment guidelines. Another common linguistic feature was related to the use of first-person plural, second-person, and third-person pronouns. The fourth linguistic pattern was related to the verbs used in the sentences, which were mostly in present tense. So in making headlines, the present form of the verb is preferred, according to Swain 2005, as cited by Abdullah and Sally 2012. Also, the use of active voice was also present among the analyzed linguistic items. In terms of models, the most common was will, to show future events, may, to use polite requests, shall, to indicate politeness and futurity, and would, to express politeness and formality. Other notable grammatical features were the following. Number 1 is appositives for establishing credibility. 2 is parallelism or repetition for emphasis and impact. And 3, gradable adjectives for self or institutional appraisal. Now, let us proceed to the textualization. This table shows the distribution of persuasive techniques across the digital marketing funnel. And as what you have seen, a large percentage of posted marketing materials under TOEFL used ethos. This is the rhetorical strategy focusing on the establishment of one's credentials in order to get people's trust. This was basically followed by posts using pathos, which amounted to 45.83%. Items with this rhetorical strategy were observed in posts with connections to the celebration of different events, such as school anniversaries, holidays, and others. Similarly, 87.5% of the posts identified under MOFU depicted the dimension of ethos. Posts under this level were usually for consumers who evaluated a service against other competitors. These posts addressing this level were mostly connected to admission and enrollment guidelines, gifts, and offers. These posts were perceived to show the school's goodwill, competence, and reliability, or ethos. Meanwhile, items under BOFU that showed exclusive events for the school's community as well as testimonials from other stakeholders commonly utilized ethos, specifically 68.93%. Some of the posts also exhibited less common linguistic patterns, such as number 1, the use of capitalization, number 2, deviation from normal spelling, 3, multiple exclamation marks, and 4, the use of hashtags. Other unique features that were observed among the FB posts are the following. Number 1, figures of speech. 2, coinage. 3, social media expressions. Last but not the least, number 4, interjections. Now we are down to these conclusions. The results revealed that the 3 stages of digital marketing were evenly distributed and applied to all the Facebook posts to market the school. Furthermore, the digital marketing creators still revisited and utilized the basic grammar lessons, such as types of sentences according to structure and function, types of personal pronouns, auxiliary verbs, and the like. It can be concluded that the simplicity of language in terms of form and meaning is imperative for them to entice a wide array of audiences. On a deeper level, they used simple language to appeal more to the netizens' emotions and establish credibility, so pathos and ethos, and less under logical reasoning or logos. Finally, it is interesting to note that some of the posts also deviated from the standard pattern of language. Specifically, the language used by Generation C or Zoomers was also apparent. So taking the above-mentioned results into consideration, the study might assist the following professionals in their respective endeavors. So the first one are the digital marketers who can use the digital funnel to guide the target clients in knowing the school with the suggested frequency and distribution of the 3 stages across all the posts. Second are the school administrators who may invest more in digital marketing using Facebook and veer away from spending too much budget on printed materials. Lastly, linguists who can write and publish a manual or guide for digital marketing professionals in advertising the school through the lens of linguistics. Future researchers can address the following limitations of the study. So first, they can look closely at the latest marketing strategies for academic year 2021 to 2022 and see how the landscape of digital marketing has evolved as the pandemic ensues. Second, they can determine the significant differences in which statistical treatments can be employed for testing. Third, they can investigate the relationship between the frequency of utilizing digital marketing strategies and the number of enrollees for one school year. Fourth, they can also explore other digital and social media platforms being utilized for school promotions aside from Facebook. Lastly, qualitative research can be administered to trace if the conventional marketing strategies of the digital creators are matched with the preferences of the digital consumers. Of course, we would like to acknowledge Ms. Raven Kate or Austria, a digital data analyst from Summit Media, for giving us background information about the digital marketing. And that wraps up this presentation. Thank you very much.